Imagine this. You're on a date with a beautiful Vietnamese girl. Everything seems perfect until you make one small mistake. She suddenly loses interest and you never hear from her again. What went wrong? Today, I'm breaking down the 10 biggest mistakes foreigners make when dating Vietnamese women, so you don't end up as just another failed love story. Stick around because number 10 is a mistake even experienced expats still make. Let's get into it. Number 1, assuming all Vietnamese women are the same. One of the biggest misconceptions foreigners have is that all Vietnamese women fit into one specific stereotype. Some think they're all traditional and looking for a Western husband. Others assume they are shy, submissive, or reserved. But here's the truth. Vietnamese women are as diverse as any other group of women in the world. Vietnam has different regions, cultures, and lifestyles that shape a woman's values, personality, and expectations in dating. A girl from Ho Chi Minh City might have a completely different outlook on relationships than a girl from a rural town in the north. Some women are career-focused and independent, while others are deeply rooted in tradition and family. An example of this is don't assume she likes cooking just because she's Vietnamese. She might prefer ordering takeout just like you. But what happens when you move too fast in a relationship? Well, let's talk about that next. Number 2. Moving too fast or too slow. Every culture has its unspoken rules when it comes to the pace of a relationship. In Western cultures, casual dating is common. People go out for a few months before deciding if they want to commit. But here in Vietnam, things work a little differently. Women here are generally more relationship focused. While they might not rush into love, they also don't want to waste their time on someone who isn't serious. The mistake many foreigners make is either coming on too strong or being too hesitant. If you confess your love after just 2 dates, she might think you're not being genuine. On the flip side, if you drag things out and never define the relationship, she might think you're just playing games. My tip to you is build the connection naturally, compliment her, but don't be over the top. But no matter how great your connection is, if you ignore this next point, you might ruin everything before it even starts. Number 3, ignoring the importance of family. If you think dating is just about you and her, think again. In Vietnam, family is everything. If her parents don't like you, your relationship is on thin ice. Many Western cultures emphasize individuality in relationships, but here in Vietnam, a woman's family plays a direct role in her romantic life. It's common for a woman to seek her parents' approval before getting serious with someone. If you make a bad impression, it might be game over before things even begin. Here's an example for you. Imagine meeting her family and refusing to eat their food. Instant failure. Make sure you show respect, greet elders properly, and try to bond with her family. It doesn't hurt. Here's my tip for you. When meeting her family, make sure you bring a small gift. It shows appreciation and effort, which goes a long way in Vietnamese culture. But even if her family loves you, money can still be a deal breaker. Here's why. Number 4, being cheap or too flashy about your money. Money can be a tricky subject. Vietnamese women appreciate a man who is financially responsible, but being too cheap can make you look like a bad provider. On the flip side, trying too hard to show off your wealth can make you seem fake. Here in Vietnam, the concept of generosity is highly valued. While women don't expect you to be a millionaire, they do appreciate a man who can take care of them and isn't afraid to be generous. However, throwing money around to impress her can backfire. She might see it as arrogance or even desperation. My tip to you, make sure you guys pay for the dates, especially in the beginning. Later, she might insist on contributing, but don't expect her to contribute at all. But money isn't the only way to impress a woman. Your attitude toward her culture matters just as much. Number 5, not respecting Vietnamese culture. Dating a Vietnamese woman isn't just about her. It's about her culture too. If you're constantly comparing Vietnam to your home country or refusing to engage with local traditions, she'll see it as a huge red flag. Vietnamese culture is rich and deeply rooted in tradition. If you make an effort to understand and appreciate it, you'll gain a lot of respect from her and her family. Learning small customs, showing interest in her traditions, and even trying new foods can make a huge difference in how she sees you. Here's an example for you. If she invites you to eat balok duck embryo, at least try a bite, even if you don't finish it. Here's my tip for you. Vietnamese New Year, or better known as Tet, is one of the most important holidays. Show interest and ask her about it. It'll score you major points. But even if you respect her culture, if you expect perfect English, you might run into some problems. Number 6, expecting perfect English. Many Vietnamese women speak English, but expecting fluency or getting frustrated when she makes mistakes is a huge red flag to her. If she's making an effort, appreciate it. Learning a second language is not easy, just like learning Vietnamese. And a little patience goes a long way. Remember, Vietnamese people didn't grow up speaking English at home. Even if she studied it at school, she might be comfortable with slang, jokes, or fast conversations. If you interrupt or correct her too much, she might feel embarrassed or lose confidence. Here's an example for you. Instead of saying, "Why don't you understand?" try rephrasing things in simpler terms. She'll appreciate your effort. And here's my tip for you. Use simple English and speak clearly. Plus, learning a few Vietnamese words like "em đẹp quá" means you're beautiful can be a sweet surprise for her. But communication isn't just about words. It's also about how you present yourself. And that's where our next mistake comes in. Number 7, not dressing well. Appearance matters, especially here in Vietnam, where people generally dress neatly and stylishly. If you show up to a date in flip-flops and a wrinkled t-shirt, it won't leave a good impression on her. Vietnamese women often take pride in their appearance, even for casual outings. If she spends time getting ready for a date and you show up looking like you just rolled out of bed, it sends the wrong message to her. Let me give you an example. If she's wearing a nice dress and you show up in the gym shorts, she might just feel like you don't care about her or the date. So here's my tip to you. Vietnamese fashion is often trendy and well put together. A nice button-up shirt and well-fitted jeans can go a long way here in Vietnam. But even if you look great, your behavior in public can still make or break your relationship and the date. Number 8, public displays of affection, or PDA. In many Western countries, holding hands, kissing, or hugging in public is normal. But here in Vietnam, too much PDA can make people uncomfortable, especially in more traditional areas. Vietnamese society values modesty, and while younger generations are more open to affection in public, excessive touching or kissing can attract unwanted attention. She might feel embarrassed if you're too forward in front of others. So let me give you an example. A quick peck on the cheek might be okay in a big city like Ho Chi Minh City, but in a small town, it could be seen as inappropriate. Here's my tip to you. When you're out and about, watch how local couples behave and take cues from them. It will save your relationship and it'll save you from embarrassment. But there's another social norm that can be tricky: gender roles. Let's talk about it next. Number 9, not understanding gender roles. Traditional gender roles still play a big part in Vietnamese culture and relationships. While modern women are becoming more independent, many still expect a man to take the lead in certain ways, like making plans, paying for dates, at least early on, and showing protective behavior. Now, this doesn't mean all Vietnamese women want a man to control everything. It's more about balance, a man who is confident, responsible, and caring. If you act too passive or avoid making decisions, plans, she might see it as a lack of leadership. Let me give you an example. If you keep asking, where do you want to go, instead of making a plan, she might find it frustrating. So here's my tip to you. Small gestures like pulling out her chair or offering her your jacket go a long way in earning her respect and earning the respect of her family and the community. But even if you do everything right, your biggest mistake might just be assuming you don't need to learn about Vietnam at all. Number 10, assuming you can wing it without learning anything about Vietnam. If you come to Vietnam expecting a date without learning about the culture, the language, or even basic dating norms, you're setting yourself up for failure. Many foreigners assume they can just follow the same dating habits they have back home, but here in Vietnam, Vietnamese dating culture has its own unique rules and expectations. If you don't make an effort to understand them, you'll stand out, but not in a good way. So let me break down an example for you. Imagine you're on a date and you have no idea how to use chopsticks or that slurping your noodles is normal here in Vietnam. She might find it funny, but she might also see it as a sign that you didn't prepare. So here's my tip for you. Before your date, learn a few things about Vietnam, such as popular foods, local customs, and even how dating apps work differently here. Alright guys, so those are the 10 biggest mistakes you should avoid when dating a Vietnamese girl. If you made it this far, I know you're serious about making a great impression. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and make sure you hit that subscribe button for more insights on life here in Vietnam and dating here in Vietnam. I appreciate you guys' time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.